Welcome to the NACIC World Podcast. The objective of the NACIC World Podcast is to uplift, inspire, motivate, and to encourage personal growth and introspection. The human spirit is a flame that can be neglected, ignored, and covered up, but it can also be nurtured, nourished, and fanned to create a mighty fire. The NACIC World Podcast, fan the flame of your spirit. Here is your host, RJ.
Welcome back, and it's so nice to be with you once again on NACIC World Podcast. Before I start with this podcast, I've got a very, very important announcement. As from today, the NACIC World Podcast will be merged into the Growth Channel Podcast, which will focus on topics of personal growth, personal development, self-improvement, entrepreneurship, financial independence. All these topics we will continue to have, but in the Growth Channel Podcast, which will specifically focus on personal development and financial independence. This is a very important day, and this is a very important episode. You know, I once read, if you want to be wealthy and happy, learn this lesson well. Learn to work harder on yourself than you do on your job. This gave me a lot of food for thought. We are so used to focusing on giving everything and working hard in our jobs and careers so that we can get more salary, an increase, a raise, a promotion. But we forget what you become is far more important than what you get. The important question to ask on the job is not, what am I getting? Instead, you should ask, what am I becoming? What you become directly influences what you get. As life progresses, you are guaranteed to face a variety of circumstances, changing environments, and new roles that require you to adapt to them. Generally, our adult lives are shaped by the experiences and circumstances of our families, our neighborhoods, and schools during our formative years. Later in life, however, as we grow older, our motivations to develop ourselves are powered by our desire to fulfill certain needs. Even during the midst of this pandemic, self-improvement is still a crucial aspect to our lives today. Now, personal growth has become a buzzword all around us. The sad truth, though, is that a few people actively pursue growth. If personal growth or personal development is practiced consistently over time, it can unlock the potential that lies within us. In my view, personal development can be divided into three parts, namely the spiritual part, where we focus on our spiritual nature, the relationship with our God, our higher being. That's the first part of personal development that we want to develop, we want to increase in that. Some of us go to church, to divine service, to worship, to develop our spiritual nature. The second part of personal development that we focus on is the physical development, the body. You know, we look at how we take care of that and how we develop that. And then the third part for me in personal development is mental, the mind. How do we grow the mind? Personal development incorporates many themes. We hear of self-development, personal growth, personal development, self-growth, self-improvement, etc. So today I want to focus on personal development that incorporates all these themes.
NACIC World Podcast, broadcasting all over the world. You are listening to NACIC World Podcast. If you are serious about making money online from home, then visit smmenterprisesonline.com. smmenterprisesonline.com. If you are interested in growing yourself, personal development, and financial independence, then subscribe to our YouTube, The Growth Channel. The link is in the podcast description.
Here are a few examples to clarify what can be seen as personal development. You know, learning to control anger, learning to overcome procrastination, putting things off, learning to overcome laziness, learning to be more polite and considerate, becoming a more responsible person, learning new things and developing new skills, changing your mindset, becoming more positive, having a growth mindset. These are all examples of personal development. Successful personal development requires motivation, the desire to improve, and the willingness to strive to make changes. Personal development can help you in all areas of your life. It can help you at work. It can change your attitude towards work, and therefore open up new opportunities for advancement. Personal development can help in growing emotionally and mentally and becoming a more considerate, a more loving and positive person. It can also help you to see your mistakes and negative habits and lead you to correcting and changing them. Now, here are some reasons why we should make personal development a priority. First of all, personal development forces you out of your comfort zone. If there are areas of your job, for example, that you do not like or are not good at, those are the weaknesses that a personal development plan can help you to improve on. Confronting these areas and improving on them can help to push you out of your comfort zone. This allows you to experience growth and to explore and improve your skills. That is, first, one reason it forces you out of your comfort zone. Secondly, personal development develops your strength. It not only helps you to improve on your weakness, by taking time to focus on nurturing and using your strengths more, you go from being good at something to being excellent at it. You can reach your potential and achieve great growth by developing the skills you're already good at. So personal development develops your skills, develop your strengths. Thirdly, personal development boosts your confidence. Making the decision to improve on your skills takes you a step closer to feeling more confident. Once you've achieved a certain goal, gained another skill, or developed a certain area of your life, you naturally feel good about yourself. The more you keep on developing in the areas of your life you are not confident in, the more you can boost your confidence. And fourthly, personal development improves your self-awareness. It's closely linked to self-awareness. It gives you the opportunity to take an honest look at the areas of your life that needs improvement. Through this process of personal development and awareness, self-awareness, you get to know who you really are, what your true values are, and where you would like to go in life. Once you go through this process, you will improve your self-awareness and experience fulfillment.
NACIC World Podcast, broadcasting all over the world. You are listening to NACIC World Podcast. Are you interested in doing an online tourism business course? Visit tourismbusinessonline.com, tourismbusinessonline.com.
Personal development is the big differentiator between people who achieve their goals and those who do not. You know, it makes a difference between those who achieve and those who does not achieve. Now, there are certain ways to develop yourself personally. First of all, identify your objectives. If you haven't established a specific goal yet, think about what you ultimately want to accomplish. A good way to do this is to picture yourself a year from now. Secondly, establish your purpose. What is the main purpose for your goal? A critical question you need to ask yourself in order to know where you are heading. You must establish your purpose. And then face your fears, confront your fears head on, and remember that all fears are learned. And with self-discipline, you can turn things around. Learn something new. Learning a new skill or educating yourself on a topic can improve your personal development skills. And then, if you need a little direction, find a mentor. Don't be afraid to ask someone you trust to provide you with some useful and helpful tips on building your self-development.
You are listening to NACIC World Podcast. If you are interested in growing yourself, personal development, and financial independence, then subscribe to our YouTube, The Growth Channel. The link is in the podcast description. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. Firstly, it's free. Secondly, there are creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Thirdly, Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and many more. Fourthly, you can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. Lastly, it's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started.
The journey of personal development is an ongoing process of constant learning. It gives you the opportunity to evaluate your strengths and weaknesses and to work on them. Remember, personal development can help you in all areas of your life. And therefore, it's largely a personal journey, but it's a journey that you need to prioritize. The benefits are that you grow as a person while growing your skills. You improve your self-awareness. You boost your confidence. Your life is now. It is made up of a series of moments. Live intentionally in the present moment and you'll begin to experience the joy and happiness you seek. Personal development is a constant process. You don't one day discover there is no work left to do on yourself. There's always something you can do to improve yourself. So, whether you are a retired 65-year-old or 26-year-old who's just starting off, remember that you will always be a work in progress and there can never be an end to learning about yourself. That is what makes life purposeful and fun. So as indicated, we have reached an important milestone in our podcast journey. And as from today, the NACIC World Podcast will be merged with the Growth Channel Podcast. I'm glad that I could, over the past episodes, have contributed to the growth of the NACIC World audience. But now is the time for us to evolve and grow. The Growth Channel Podcast caters for individuals and entrepreneurs looking to grow themselves and pursuing financial independence via various online platforms. You know, as much as I wanted to continue in discussion with the NACIC World team, we decided it's best that the NACIC World remains on the path that it is currently, and that we move these topics, growth, development topics, into my Growth Channel Podcast. And this will then help. We will still share the podcast on the NACIC World Facebook page and the other platforms where NACIC World wants to disseminate this podcast. As from today, we will be merging into the Growth Channel Podcast. And you can listen here on this site or on our other podcasting platforms like Apple Podcast, Google, Spotify, on our YouTube, the Growth Channel, Facebook and Twitter. If you are really interested to grow yourself in personal development and financial independence, please subscribe to the Growth Channel on YouTube. It's called the Growth Channel on YouTube. All the links are in the podcast description below. That brings us to the end of this episode. Please keep on fanning the flame of your spirit.
Please like us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and subscribe to our YouTube channel and podcast platforms. Send your emails to podcast@nacicinchina.com. The Growth Channel Podcast is broadcasted twice weekly, every Tuesday and Thursday at 3 p.m. Beijing time. Until next time, please stay safe and be blessed. Till we meet again.